Hello there, survivors, and welcome back to another video in ARK Survival Ascended. Today, I've built this Elderclaw Sanctuary on Valguero to celebrate this new epic bear that's been brought to ARK. And it's actually also my first dedicated greenhouse build, but you have plenty of space to use this as your main base. But if you're looking for a cool greenhouse that you could add to your base, this might be a good option too. Although I do have to say, because of the size, of course, the greenhouse effect is mostly effective in the second layer of the build in the main hall, and maybe a little bit in the front hall. I've not actually tested it there, but yeah, quite happy with the way it turned out. I figured it would be appropriate now with the new Elderclaw in the game, which is of course really cool forest bear with, you know, you have to grow it up in a crop plot, so this only made sense to do, and it was about time for me to do a dedicated greenhouse build. Now, whilst you don't need any mods to build this, you can definitely use them, of course, to make it look nicer, but you don't need them necessarily. The most skins I've used are, of course, from the Bob Talltails DLC, the steampunk skin quite a bit, and a little bit of the frontier skin here and there. Then personally, I liked the look of these Klinger cosmetics a little bit better for the greenhouse glass. You can of course also just use the frontier skin or use normal greenhouse glass instead if you don't want to have any cosmetics. Then I've also used a little bit of the cozy cabin grass on the top, but you could also just either paint thatch to look like grass or just keep the roof as a totally glass ceiling, so you have more light coming in and you don't want to have any plants up there. Now, the plants that I use for decorations are from JVH Landscaping. Again, you don't need to add all these, of course, and you can still add some plants to the top of your roof if you want to, just using the shovel and the plant pot from the Bob Talltails DLC again. And before we head into the build, let me know if you'd like to see a full step-by-step build tutorial. I'll start working on one very soon. And of course, if you enjoy the videos and you want to see more builds like this, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I greatly appreciate it. And of course, feel free to leave suggestions for future builds you'd like to see down in the comments below. So here we are, and if you're wondering where I've built this on the map, as I said, I am on Valguero, right here in the middle of the redwoods. It's actually one of the locations I feature in my 50 best base build locations. So if you're interested, this is where I build it, but of course you can build it wherever you want or need it. Quite happy with the way this turned out. I used some of the Tesla coils here at the end of the roof as a little bit of detail. Alternatively, you can of course use a dermis as well, but that I did here on the front. You could have that everywhere, just really give that Elderclaw Sanctuary vibe. Also definitely a cool option. As you can see, frontier skins here in the middle. We have of course also the steampunk skins, and then this is from the Klinger cosmetic. It's a free cosmetic which gets you this cool greenhouse skin. Definitely fits well with the other two. And I've also used a little bit from Cozy Cabins, but again, you could just use the free one instead if you want to, or of course just keep it looking like normal greenhouse glass. Also looks totally fine. But yeah, quite happy with the way this turned out. Then I made it a bit more overgrown with the JVH Landscaping just to spice it up a little bit, but the entire roof is made out of greenhouse glass. This is also all greenhouse glass. I mean, the whole building is mostly greenhouse glass just to get this cool look and make sure that we have the effectiveness that we need on the inside. But as I said, beside being a greenhouse, it's actually a pretty big base as well. So let's head in, let's see what we have inside. So we have this nice entrance hall that you could definitely use to park some tames or some flyers when you're not using them. We got some places to get something to drink. Currently the water seems not to be reaching that for some reason. And then we have the base. As I said, there's quite a lot of space here. We have another dermis here welcoming you. Made this little middle bit to make it feel more like a sanctuary. We have the feeding trough there in the middle, and then we have the Elderclaw parked all around us in this circle, which I thought was quite a cool feature. But as you see, it's still a pretty big base. We have the industrial forge here with the what is it called, the ancient high-tech skin. I've never really used that one, so I try to integrate that here. The replicator, I use the Astral skin on that because I think it looks so cool. I just want to keep using it. We have a little bit of a crafting station here with the grinder and some vaults right next to that. We have some nice seating area here in the middle around this spot. Over here we have the chem bench and the fabricator with some more storage in the middle. We have the nice little kitchen area over here with the grill, cooker, some storage, fridges of course, and a nice little place sit down. And then we have some more storage, including dedicated storage right here behind the staircase. But as you can see, clearly plenty of space down here to use as like a dino pen. You can do some of the breeding down here, storage, crafting, basically all your basic ARK needs. And upstairs is where we actually have the proper greenhouse with the full effectiveness, because of course you can't make a greenhouse too big. So over here you will see we've got all the Elderclaws growing up. That's how you do it apparently. You kind of have to feed the cravings until it's fully grown, but you also need the 300% effectiveness of a greenhouse, which this entire top layer has. Also got some drakelings hopping around because I thought it fitted the vibe over here. And then, well, it is a greenhouse as well. So we have some plants growing up here. We have some fridges here to the side to keep some things in. Then we have a little bit of storage and crafting here too, just in case we would need it. And we have plenty of little beetles wandering around making or fertilizer. But yeah, as you can see, it's quite roomy, it's quite big. You have plenty of space. You could of course add even more crop plots if you wanted to. I decided to go a little lighter, but as you can see, there is plenty of space here to get a bunch of bears growing up. And yeah, making sure you have plenty of them, because I guess that is now how you would do an Elderclaw breeding facility. Is you would actually need a productive greenhouse somewhere there to make the seedlings grow up, which is quite a cool feature, I think. And then upstairs we have a little bit of the skylight, but then also I have of course the little garden that I made, but you could make a full skylight instead if you wanted that. We also have some of these little windows with the steampunk skin, so a decent amount of light is still coming into the base. And yeah, again, I just kind of like the whole vibe. I used a lot of the steampunk skin, which is nice to use. Again, don't often use that much, but I kind of thought it fitted this vibe. And then the Klinger cosmetic also has a skin for crop plots, which looks quite cool. You actually also have a variant that makes it look like a heap of dirt, so that would be really cool if you would want to make an outdoor garden. But of course, for this one, we need the effectiveness, so yeah, we needed to make sure that it was here and it was inside. But yeah, I think this works quite well. It's quite a cool setup. The seeds themselves just look very cool too, so it's definitely just a really cool addition to a base. And yeah, I thought it was fitting to build the bear, the Elderclaw, a proper sanctuary, because they do look really cool. They move rather quick as well for their size, and yeah, they are a pretty cool creature. I'm not quite sure what the abilities of the Elderclaw are. I'm just a builder, but I do really like the look of them and the feel of them. I also thought that Bayon's house that I did a while back, you know, from The Hobbit, would also actually be a really cool base to have them in, of course, because it kind of fits the bear vibe. But yeah, this one is a little bit more functional with the greenhouse at the top, making sure you can have all your Elderclaws on breeding and then hatching the babies upstairs as a proper plant, which is definitely quite cool. Yeah, again, quite a fun build. I quite like doing these builds specifically for certain tames, because that makes it a little bit easier, you know, to go in depth for it, because otherwise you kind of have to go in general and kind of guess which sizes you need, and this way it's a little bit easier. But yeah, in general, it's just also a really cool greenhouse build. But of course, unfortunately, with the way ARK works, you can't really go very big with greenhouse and keep the effectiveness. But at least the whole top layer does have the full effectiveness, so you can grow your little Elderclaws or your other plants as well, of course. And I do think it makes for a rather cool looking base. So yeah, let me know if you'd like to see a full tutorial. I'll probably be working on that pretty soon too, but I just wanted to share you this little creation that I've been working on for the past few days. Anyway, if you enjoyed the build, please let me know down in the comments, and of course feel free to leave suggestions for future builds you'd like to see there as well. And if you really liked the video, of course, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. It really helps me out and I really appreciate it, and I hope to see you again in the next video or the next stream. For now, goodbye.